Hey, Cowboys Nation! Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. The Dallas Cowboys are reportedly closing in on what could be a seismic shift in their defensive strategy. And whispers around the league suggest that Chase Young might be the key to turning the Cowboys' defensive line into a nightmare for every quarterback and offensive coordinator in the NFL. Imagine a defense that doesn't just stop plays, but actively terrifies offensive lines before the snap. A unit that forces hurried decisions and creates chaos simply by being on the field. Sources close to the team suggest that the Cowboys have made it clear that Young is the cornerstone of this strategy, and the excitement in the locker room is palpable. Conversations among insiders indicate that coaches see Young not just as a player, but as a cultural force who can elevate everyone around him. Rumors have it that even players who are on the fence about the defensive scheme are now energized, practicing harder and genuinely believing in the possibility of dominating their matchups like never before. Analysts are quietly noting that if Young reaches his projected peak, the Cowboys could redefine how the league thinks about pass rushing, blending pure athleticism with strategic positioning in ways opponents will struggle to anticipate. The anticipation surrounding Chase Young's potential impact has sparked a flurry of speculation about how the Cowboys plan to deploy him, and there are rumors suggesting that multiple fronts might be in the works. Some insiders hint that the coaching staff is experimenting with hybrid schemes, allowing Young to line up in different positions along the defensive front depending on the opponent. The idea is that by creating unpredictability, the offensive line will be forced to constantly adjust, making mistakes that can be capitalized on. Fans and commentators alike are imagining a scenario where Young doesn't just accumulate sacks, but fundamentally changes the rhythm of every game. There's talk that veteran players on the roster see his arrival as a catalyst, someone whose presence alone elevates the entire unit's energy and focus. Speculation is running wild about the psychological effect on opposing quarterbacks who might find themselves second-guessing their reads or rushing throws out of fear. Rumors suggest that internal team discussions have been intense, with coaches weighing the pros and cons of giving Young free rein versus focusing his efforts on specific matchups, which has only fueled further curiosity and debate. Whispers from practice sessions indicate that the Cowboys are seeing glimpses of something extraordinary with Young, hinting at a level of dominance that hasn't been present on their defensive line in years. There are murmurs that even in drills, offensive linemen are struggling to contain him, and sources claim that his combination of speed, strength, and technique is creating mismatches that could become legendary if translated into real games. Some insiders speculate that the team might design entire game plans around maximizing Young's impact, rotating him in a way that keeps him fresh but unpredictable. Analysts are noting that his athletic traits allow him to exploit angles that were previously underutilized, and rumors suggest that young defensive prospects on the roster are studying his movements closely, eager to replicate his approach. Conversation suggests that the front office sees this as an investment not just in a player, but in a defensive identity, one that could influence draft strategy and free agency moves for years. The excitement is tangible among fans on social media who are already crafting narratives around Young's potential, imagining plays that feel more cinematic than possible. But the speculation feeds into the hype and builds a narrative that is hard to ignore. The buzz around Chase Young's role with the Cowboys has not just been limited to the locker room or practice fields. Industry insiders suggest that the media presence alone is shaping perceptions and expectations. Rumors indicate that press conferences and interviews have subtly hinted at the team's plans without explicitly confirming them, leaving room for endless speculation about how Young will be deployed. Some analysts are theorizing that the Cowboys could be planning a defensive renaissance, and Young is at the center of it, with his impact extending beyond the physical into the psychological domain of the sport. Scouts are reportedly revisiting film to understand his approach better, dissecting his technique and strategy, which has sparked debates about how his style could redefine pass rushing efficiency. Conversations circulating online hint at a polarizing effect on opponents who might adjust their offensive line tactics just to mitigate his presence, even if it means taking risks elsewhere. The idea that one player could create such a ripple effect is fueling speculation that the Cowboys might be positioning themselves not just for wins, but for dominance in a league where predictability is often the enemy. Further speculation centers on how Chase Young's arrival could influence team culture and dynamics, and sources suggest that veteran defenders see his presence as a challenge and an opportunity to elevate their own game. The rumors imply that team meetings now include discussions about how to best support Young while leveraging his unique skill set, creating an environment where everyone feels accountable and driven. Observers hint that his work ethic and intensity might inspire a new standard of preparation and focus, pushing younger players to train harder and smarter. The narrative around Young is growing, not just as a player, but as a symbol of potential transformation, with insiders suggesting that coaches are already envisioning multi-year plans that place him at the center. Some whispers indicate that his influence could extend to special teams and situational packages, maximizing his value beyond conventional roles. The idea that a single addition could reshape not just a game plan, but a mindset is fueling conversations among fans and media alike, keeping speculation alive and wild. Finally, the conversation around Chase Young and the Cowboys has evolved into a full-blown narrative that mixes anticipation, strategy, and a hint of mystery. Rumors suggest that opponents are already taking note, adjusting their preparations to account for his presence even before seeing him in action. There is speculation that the Cowboys coaching staff might keep some of Young's most impactful moves under wraps, adding an element of surprise that could pay dividends when the regular season intensifies. Analysts are debating whether his presence could shift the balance of power in the NFC, with insiders hinting that his influence could be felt across multiple matchups each week. Fans are theorizing about potential highlight reel moments, sharing ideas online and fueling a frenzy of excitement and debate. The whispers of Young's arrival have become a storyline that transcends individual games, suggesting that his impact could define the defensive identity of the Cowboys for years. As speculation continues to swirl, one thing seems clear. Chase Young is poised to become more than a player. He might just become a symbol of defensive dominance, and the embodiment of a new era for the Cowboys. The speculation surrounding Chase Young does not stop at his physical prowess. Insiders suggest that his presence could spark a domino effect across the entire Cowboys organization, influencing everything from practice habits to the front office's long-term strategy. Rumors indicate that team executives are already envisioning a future where Young anchors not just the defensive line, but the team's identity, creating a culture of intensity and accountability. Some whispers claim that his leadership potential is being tested subtly, with coaches observing how he communicates with rookies and how he handles high-pressure drills, assessing whether his influence can extend beyond the field. Analysts are pointing out that Young's ability to read offensive schemes might not only improve his own performance, but could provide real-time adjustments that benefit the entire defensive unit. There's chatter that opponents might have to reconsider their draft strategies and offensive line selections simply to counteract him, signaling that his effect could ripple through the league in ways that transcend individual matchups. The rumor mill suggests that even veteran players who were initially skeptical are now warming up to the idea of a Young center defensive renaissance, seeing the potential for career-defining moments alongside him. Conversations among insiders hint that the Cowboys might be experimenting with unconventional approaches to maximize Young's effectiveness, and some sources speculate that these tactics could include rotating him through multiple roles to exploit matchups and create confusion. There are murmurs suggesting that the coaching staff is blending traditional defensive schemes with innovative techniques, leveraging Young's rare combination of speed, strength, and football IQ. Fans are already imagining scenarios where Young's unpredictability forces opposing quarterbacks into hurried throws, misreads, and errors that swing momentum in ways that are almost cinematic. Some analysts are speculating that Young's arrival could inspire younger defenders to push the limits of their abilities, studying his technique in minute detail and adopting aspects of his approach to elevate their own play. There's a sense of controlled chaos in the locker room, with veterans acknowledging that a player of Young's caliber changes the game simply by being on the field. And whispers suggest that this has reinvigorated the entire defensive unit. Rumors continue to swirl around whether the Cowboys will structure entire game plans around his presence, creating opportunities that may not even exist on paper, but thrive in the chaos he produces. Insiders are suggesting that Chase Young's impact could extend far beyond statistics, hinting at a psychological edge that opponents might struggle to overcome. Rumors indicate that quarterbacks facing the Cowboys could feel a constant pressure even before the snap, knowing that Young has the ability to exploit mistakes instantly. There's speculation that the team is working on intricate stunts and shifts designed to amplify his disruptive presence, creating mismatches that are difficult to anticipate and almost impossible to replicate. Analysts are quietly debating whether his arrival could mark the beginning of a defensive dynasty fueled by strategic innovation and raw athletic dominance. Fans are already theorizing about highlight reel sequences where Young appears to bend the rules of physics. An insider suggests that this energy could translate into a contagious belief among teammates. The narrative around him has become a storyline unto itself, with rumors of his influence permeating discussions on sports shows, podcasts, and social media, often blurring the line between reality and speculation. Sources suggest that coaches are deliberately cultivating this aura, understanding that part of his power lies in anticipation and the fear it generates across the league. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. There's speculation that Chase Young's addition could also influence personnel decisions, with whispers hinting that the Cowboys might adjust their draft and free agency priorities to complement his unique skill set. Insiders are suggesting that the team sees him as a cornerstone for years to come, and rumors indicate that younger defenders could be groomed specifically to operate alongside him, enhancing the unit's energy. Analysts are debating whether his presence alone could shift offensive philosophies around the league, with teams needing to devise special packages to account for him on every down. Conversations hint that this might be part of a larger strategy to build a defense that doesn't just respond to plays, but actively dictates the pace of the game. Fans are speculating about the psychological impact on opponents, imagining the pressure of facing a defense where one player can alter the entire rhythm of a match. Rumors suggest that even special teams and situational personnel could be impacted by his presence, with coaches considering creative ways to exploit his athletic versatility. The narrative paints a picture of a player whose value transcends conventional metrics, making Young a potential league-wide gain share before he even sets foot in a regular season matchup. Whispers from insiders indicate that the excitement in Dallas is contagious, with speculation that Young's influence could inspire a new era of defensive innovation. Some sources hint that rookies and younger players are viewing him as a benchmark, studying not just his physical technique, but his approach to preparation, mental focus, and in-game awareness. Analysts are speculating that this could create a cultural shift within the team, one where high-intensity, strategic thinking, and adaptability become as valued as raw talent. Rumors continue to suggest that even coaches are reconsidering traditional philosophies, adapting their schemes to maximize the unpredictable impact Young can generate. Fans are theorizing about the energy in the stadium, imagining the intimidation factor he could impose simply by lining up, causing defensive dominance to become a spectacle in its own right. The speculation also extends to the broader league, with whispers suggesting that rival teams are re-evaluating offensive line strategies, draft boards, and even quarterback preparation in anticipation of facing him. The anticipation and intrigue surrounding Young's role have transformed him from just another draft pick into a symbol of potential transformation, not only for the Cowboys, but potentially for the defensive strategies across the league. Finally, insiders hint that Chase Young's arrival may be more than a single-season story. Rumors suggest that the Cowboys are envisioning a multi-year plan where he defines their defensive identity and becomes the cornerstone of a lasting legacy. Conversations indicate that coaches are preparing to leverage his presence in multiple formations and scenarios, maximizing disruption while maintaining adaptability. Analysts are speculating that his influence could extend beyond physical play, shaping the mentality of the entire squad and inspiring a level of preparation, focus, and intensity rarely seen. Fans continue to craft narratives about highlight plays and defensive sequences that could become legendary if realized, feeding a growing excitement that blends anticipation with speculation. Whispers suggest that Young's impact might even influence how future recruits view the Cowboys. seeing a team willing to innovate and build around elite talent. The narrative being built around him is one of transformation, intimidation, and strategic mastery, painting a picture of a player whose arrival might not only redefine a defensive line, but could change how the NFL approaches pass rushing, player utilization, and defensive culture for years to come. The speculation is electric. The possibilities feel endless. And the Cowboys' gamble on Chase Young has the league watching with a mixture of awe and apprehension. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.